Hi, and welcome to this video tip version of Marketing Tips for Authors. My name is Tony Eldridge. I'm the author of the action-adventure book, The Samson Effect, the book that Clive Cussler calls a first-rate thriller brimming with intrigue and adventure. Okay, in this video tip, we're going to be talking about a wonderful free tool that Google has created called Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a place that you can sign up and start using it to track visitors to your website, to your blogs, and it's more than just a counter. You can learn everything about those type of visitors so you can see who's visiting, where they're coming from, where they're spending their time on your page, and knowing that information and being armed with that information can help you tweak your marketing plan to better market to people coming to your site. So what I've done is I've created back in September a Google Analytics account, a family account. And I want to use this as an example to show you some of the great things you can do with Google Analytics. When you sign into Google Analytics, by the way, you'll need a Gmail account. You'll need to go to google.com/analytics and there you can create your Google Analytics account. And when you sign into the dashboard, you're going to get a trend line that shows you how many visitors per day you had. And by the way, the date range is customizable. I have this going back to the beginning of the site. You'll also see a site usage. You can see for this family site, we've had 8,300 visits to it. We've had 65,000 page visits. We've had, on average, people have visited almost 8 pages per day, or per visit. They've visited 8 pages. We see a bounce rate of 24%, and that's an interesting number. That tells you when someone clicks onto a link that brings you to the site, do they stay in your site and start looking at other pages, or do they immediately go somewhere else? If they leave your site and go somewhere else, that's called a bounce. So the lower the bounce rate, the better. It indicates there's more interest in your site. You can see the average time that people spend on your site and what percentage of the visits are new visits versus returning. You also have visitor overview. We see that we had over 1,650 unique visitors come and visit the site. We have a map overlay, which is a very interesting. If you click on the map overlay report, you actually can bring up a map of the world or a map of the United States, which I have here, and it shows you which part of the United States people are coming to visit. Now, the darker the green means the more dense visitors are from that state. So in this case, we have people from Texas, people from Illinois, people from Tennessee. That's where most of the visitors are coming from. And if you scroll down, you can actually see the different states, and you get a summary of the stats from that specific state. So you see the page visits, page per visits. You see the average time they spend on site per state, percentage of new visits, and the bounce rates for those states. And if you drill down onto the states, you actually get a city view, and you can find out where in the states the people are coming from. And again, you have a list. So in Illinois, we see in the Chicago area there were a lot of people that visited, and you can get a list of the top cities and all the stats associated with those cities. Now, you can also bring up not just the United States map, but you can bring up the entire world map, and by doing that, you can find out where in the world the people are coming from. Now, on this site, most of the people, over 8,000 people, or 8,000 page views, are going to come directly to the United States, but we do have people all over the world visiting this site. Now, you can, if you look real closely, you can see some of the lightly shaded gray areas, but nothing compares to the United States as far as where people are coming. And down at the bottom, you can see a list of the countries and all the stats associated with those countries. You also can go back to the dashboard, and you can see a couple of other things I want to point out. One is the traffic source overview. This tells you where people are finding your site from. In this case, in the blue, we see that over half are coming direct traffic. That is, they're typing in the URL of our site or they've got it bookmarked. The other half sites, and these referring sites will tell you if there's a link somewhere, whether it's in someone's email or whether it's on another site that they're clicking to find your site. This will tell you where it is. Now in this case, we've set this up for people who are on MySpace. So a lot of the referring sites come from MySpace. From profile pages, we have 700 visits. From bulletins in MySpace, we have almost 700 visits. Here's something from Yahoo emails that have gone out. We have 289 visits. Now this will just break down where the traffic is coming from in your site. And if you have people coming from search engines, it will also tell you which search engines they're coming from and which search terms they use to find your site. Now how cool is that? You can really get a good feel on how people are finding your site. And then the last thing that I want to show you, and again, this is just an overview of Google Analytics, but it shows you how powerful this tool can be for you, and that's the content overview. This content overview shows you that once they're on your site, where are they spending their time? What pages are they visiting? And how many different page views do you have? This will show you where the most popular pages are on your site. You can use Google Analytics for your website. You can use Google Analytics for your blog. It's a wonderful free tool. And again, this just scratches the surface on what Google Analytics does for you. In the future, we'll be talking about more tools and ways you can use Google Analytics, but I hope this introduction opens your eyes to a wonderful free tool made possible to you by Google. My name is Tony Eldridge. Again, I'm the author of The Samson Effect. It's been my pleasure to introduce to you Google Analytics.